Hello, my name is Shakayla Alvarenga. I'm the Director of Public Programs here at the Mob Museum. Thank you for continuing to watch our Community Safety Forum virtual series. With the help of NV Energy, we've been able to keep you updated with topics that matter. We are just a few days away from the November election, and ensuring election integrity is key. We talked to the Secretary of State's office and the local FBI office about your concerns.
The Elections Division with the Secretary of State's office is responsible for overseeing the administration of all elections in Nevada, from elections for federal office all the way down to elections for local municipal office, such as mayor or city council. We're also responsible for enforcing all state and federal laws related to the administration of elections, including campaign finance practices.
Can you speak on the importance of a legitimate election? Why does electoral integrity matter?
It's extremely important. It's really the backbone of our democracy, is the validity of elections. If we lose confidence in the elections, then we lose confidence in really the whole system of government.
I think that all Americans want their elections to matter and be significant and to count. And they have a vested interest in ensuring that the people that they vote for receive the votes that were meant for them. And having a legitimate election provides that continuity of government and that confidence in the electorate that knows that they voted for these people. Those people were duly elected, appropriately elected officials that are going to represent them for the period of time that the next term goes.
There's a lot of misinformation online. Is it safer to vote in person or by mail? What would you recommend?
So there absolutely is a lot of misinformation online. It's something our office is trying to combat. We encourage voters who have questions about the election to come to the trusted source, which is the Secretary of State's office or their county election official. We recently published a document titled Facts versus Myths, where we tackled 17 of the most common myths about the election and provided the actual facts. So we're really trying to combat disinformation, and all that's available on the Secretary of State's website. Voters should vote using the method that they feel most comfortable with. Voting by mail is absolutely a safe and secure way to vote. We're also confident that voting in person with this health guidelines that we're following is safe and secure also. So really it's up to the voter how they want to vote. We're going to support both options. I'm calling this kind of a hybrid election. We've got two ways of voting, and voters can make a choice based on their own circumstances.
I think we're looking at how this election is going to logistically take place, because that may pose some new challenges for us. And so we've been in close conversations with our partners on the Integrity Task Force, Election Integrity Task Force, to understand what types of fraud may be committed and how best we can understand if it's going on and then identify those people who are perpetrating it. We don't anticipate necessarily that there'll be more this year than any other year, but given the change in some of the logistics, we're taking a very cautious view on how the election is administered.
There is some concern about the security and integrity surrounding the 2020 election. Should people worry? Is there reason to worry?
So voters should feel confident going to vote. We are monitoring the situation. We work very closely with our partners in the federal government, Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, cyber and elections units, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. We receive regular security briefings from the federal government on the threats that they are monitoring, so that they can pass that on to us, so that we can be prepared.
We're very proud of the Nevada Election Integrity Task Force. It's been around for quite some time. The FBI, the United States Attorney's Office, the Nevada Secretary of State's office partner with state and local officials as well to ensure that any reports of irregularities involving the election are investigated thoroughly, cooperatively, and completely so that we can understand if somebody is trying to commit voter fraud. And examples of that would be voting twice, that's voter fraud. Voting in a place that you're not registered can be voter fraud. And also either stealing votes or paying for votes, or even the odd opportunity to pressure or pay off an election official.
How does the state ensure that every vote is counted on November 3rd?
Sure. So there's lots of processes in place to make sure that every vote's counted, and equally as important, that everybody's vote is counted as cast. The voting equipment that we use in the state undergoes rigorous testing and auditing both before an election and after an election to make sure that it's functioning correctly. All the equipment has to be certified for use. We partner with the Gaming Control Board to evaluate the voting equipment that's in use in Nevada and make sure it's suitable for elections. So voters should have confidence in the equipment that we're using. As far as processes go, and obviously this election is going to be a little different because we'll have many more voters voting by mail than usually vote by mail. Making sure that all the ballots are cast is important. We have processes in place to make sure that that the ballots are securely stored, that they are organized by precinct, that everything's accounted for from an auditing standpoint.
I think that every American has a responsibility to be a part of ensuring that the election is accurate and appropriately handled. And the FBI and the rest of the members of the Election Integrity Task Force really are reliant upon the public that when they see something that doesn't seem right to them, just like we ask on other criminal matters, but if something doesn't seem right to them, to please report it right away. We want that information so we can understand the nature of the problem and to identify those people that may be involved in the very serious crime of voter fraud. So we would encourage citizens when they're at polling places, or if they happen to see ballots aggregating, mail-in ballots aggregating in a place that just seems wrong, to report that immediately.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.